Yo, what's going on, man? Today is May the 16th. Happy WNBA Day. The season does start today. I am, if you're looking for to talk about the three games in the W today, I do got some looks. Not anything I played officially yet, but I got some looks and we'll talk about that. But it won't be a part of this show. It's actually going to be a different stream. So make sure you guys check out that one. It'll start probably in about 20 minutes. It won't take us too long to get through this one game. But yeah, happy WNBA Day. As far as NBA, just one official play for me yesterday ended up being a loser. Yesterday I came on the show. I talked about taking the unders first half for a game. Ended up just going with OKC minus the 4.5, and it was the Julian Strawther game. You also see OKC offense not look great at all. I think they shot 27% from the 3-point line. Defensively, they were pretty atrocious as well. I think Denver had a team total of like 104.5. They ended up getting to what was it, like 119 last night. So yeah, OKC, backs against the wall now at the crib. They are 7-point home favorites in a closeout game. But I don't know, man. Maybe I should have just stayed off. I didn't have the greatest feel. And if you played any of the things that I talked about yesterday, you did not make any profit yesterday either. I ended up just going with OKC minus the 4.5. And like I said, that was a losing proposition for myself. Hopefully you guys did a little bit better than me. Let's see who is here, and then we'll jump into the games. Good morning, Algina. She said she went 0-1 as well. She says, where's the OKC defense at? Struggling with Denver. Where's SGA running mate Jalen Williams? Been inconsistent lately. 6 points last night. Glad the WNBA is back. And these are all of my same sentiments. I mean, I'm watching and I'm seeing Jamal Murray, who was listed as questionable, just looked like Michael Jordan in the first quarter. I'm also watching. I'm looking at what's his name, Christian Braun, who has been playing horribly, going out there knocking down shots. Of course, Jokic is going to be Jokic. I did anticipate that. And then Julian Strawther come off the bench, looking like Steph Curry last night, just knocking down all the shots in the third quarter. But also, like you said, like Jalen Williams just not showing up. I think he shot 3 for 16 or something like that. OKC going to be in some trouble, man. OKC could potentially be in some trouble for sure. What up, 929? Appreciate you for tapping in. Says, what are people thinking about the over? We'll talk about that in a second. Prolific says, good morning, Chris. I think the Celtics fold. PZ says, top of the morning gang. Who's ready for the W? Ready for the W tonight. What's up, Brian? Says, good morning, Chris. What do you think going back to the Celtics first quarter, first half today? I had a feeling OKC would get tight yesterday. Nice to be on the right side. Let's get it tonight. What up, Justin? What up, Meech? Good morning, AOD. What up, user? Fredo says, good morning, Chris and gang. What up, Fredo? Fredo, I'm sorry. What up, Tariq? And Damien says, let's go C's. All right, that's enough of going through comments. Let's get into some actionable info. So jaXon also had a terrible day yesterday. Aaron Wiggins over his, I think it was points plus rebounds, or it doesn't matter what it was. The prop didn't cash. He only had 2 points last night. I think he had 2 points. So I think the number was 8.5. That was a loser. Michael Porter Jr. under was also a loser. He finished with 10 points on the dot. I think jaXon like his under at 9.5 or 8.5. So he went over by a bucket last night as well. So jaXon got to do a little bit better, like myself, man. I don't know. OKC is not what I thought that they were. And I kind of, retrospect, playing Monday morning quarterback, I probably should have ran with OKC's team total under, thinking that, their offense would be the one that would struggle. It has struggled. I think Denver's actually held the Oklahoma City Thunder under their team total in 5 of the 6 games that they played in this series so far. So I know we don't want to give Denver's defense credit, but they have been playing a lot. They've been playing pretty good against OKC. They played pretty good against the Clippers as well. So maybe it's just OKC's team total under. But anyway, neither here nor there. Let's see. These prompts that I typed in today are not good ones. Let's see. What are Let's get a better prompt. So here's the reason why I always do this right before the show, and I never read it to see what it's going to say. But the prompt today was, what are the 2 best player props in the NBA, 1 over, 1 under? Same thing as yesterday. The reason why I don't want to read this is because as soon as I glanced down, I saw Miles McBride over a half a 3. The odds are minus 220. Like nobody wants to play a minus 220. So I'm not going to talk about that. The other prop was Jalen Brunson under 3.5 rebounds, and that's also minus 160. I don't want to leave you guys with that either. So the next prompt is, what are your thoughts on the total between the Celtics and the Knicks? And I just typed that in. jaXon tells me that the total is, so the first 5 games of the series have produced a 2-2-1 over-under record. The total in these games have ranged between 183 and 248 points, showing significant variance depending on shooting efficiency and game pace. Game 5 recap, the Celtics dominated 127-102. Combined for 229 points. Boston shot 45% from the three-point line, hitting 22 threes, while the Knicks struggled offensively, shooting just 35.8% from the field. Knicks at home, they've averaged 116.37 points per game at home this season, but their offense has been inconsistent in this series, scoring as low as 91 points in Game 4. Celtics on the road. Celtics have been strong on the road, averaging 115.9 points per game in the playoffs. However, without Jason Tatum, their offensive ceiling is lower, relying heavily on Jaylen Brown and Derek White, which I agree with. Key factors impacting the total. So pace of play, both teams have played at a slower pace this series, with the Knicks ranking 24th in pace during the regular season. This trend has continued in the playoffs, contributing to lower scoring games. Defensive strengths, the Celtics boast the league's top ranked defense, allowing just 105.8 points per game. The Knicks defense has been solid as well, ranking 9th in points allowed at 110 points per game. Shooting variance, Boston's three-point shooting in Game 5, 44.9% was an outlier compared to their earlier struggles in the series. The Knicks shooting efficiencies have been inconsistent, with Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson struggling in key moments. Injuries, Jason Tatum's absence significantly impacts Boston's offensive firepower. Kristaps Porzingis has been limited due to illness, further reducing Boston's scoring options. So jaXon likes under 211.5 at BetMGM. The defensive strength of both teams, combined with the slower pace and inconsistent shooting, make the under a strong play. The Knicks offense has struggled to find a rhythm, and Boston's reliance on Jaylen Brown and Derek White without Tatum limit their scoring ceiling. You can place the bet at BetMGM minus 110 for the under 211.5. So let's go over to the game. This total did open up, and I was looking at it. It wasn't 211.5. It's actually gone up. And the consensus is 211, which is what you guys see on the screen. This opened back up at 208.5. So it has a lot of money has come up, come in on the under. It also opened with the Celtics, getting 3 points, and then people were buying the Celtics. They bought this down to 2.5, all the way down to 2. And then since yesterday, we've seen this move back north to 2.5. It looks like on all sports books. FanDuel had a 2 yesterday. I woke up this morning, the 2.5 was gone. The 2 was gone. It's up to 2.5. So Knicks are consensus at 2. The way I feel about the game, Cal kind of mentioned this yesterday when I was doing the show with him. His thoughts are very similar to my thoughts. Now, we bet the Celtics in the first quarter and then the first half in the last game, and they came out and kind of wet the bed early in that game. It took them a while to, you could say it took them a while to adjust without playing with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I feel like the Knicks are the better team without Jason Tatum. I mean, they've already beaten the Celtics with Tatum in 4 games. In three games, 3 to 4 games before, Boston going back home and getting right. If you look at the numbers, and these are the numbers from the last game, you can see that the Celtics shot the ball really, really well. Not expecting them to shoot 52% from the field and 45% from the three-point line again. But the other thing was that really stood out to me that you can't necessarily see within these numbers is the third quarter. And I should have probably put these up so you guys can see the graphics, but the third quarter for the Knicks, they shot 4 for 20 from the three-point line. Got to remember, they had the lead at halftime. They shot 4 for 20 from the field in the third quarter, 2 for 7 from the three-point line. The Knicks were called for 10 personal fouls, 5 of them on Brunson in one quarter in the third quarter, 3 on OG Anunoby. Karl-Anthony Towns also had three fouls going into halftime. He picked up his 4th foul in the third quarter and played just 8 minutes and 40 seconds due to picking up that 4th foul. And of course, sit on the bench for the rest of the time. Meanwhile, the Celtics, they were called for 5 fouls in that quarter. They shot 4 for 11 from the three, and 8 for 18 from the field, 44% en route to a 32-17 advantage in the third quarter specifically. So they went up by 15. Then they used that momentum in the fourth quarter, rolling it over, scoring 36 points in the fourth quarter. They hit 6 of their 13 threes, winning the fourth quarter by 10 points as well, which led to the blowout. I think this game is scripted differently. Now, do I wish I would have got a Knicks -2? Yes. I do think this is the type of game that I would probably just go money line on. You can get the money line right now. I think the Knicks close out better. I think Derek White, potential regression for him. I'm not expecting a lot from Kristaps Porzingis, who was played off the floor. Luke Kornet played great. I don't think we see that replicated in this game, though. And I don't want to count out the Boston Celtics because I understand that they are the defending champs. They will go out swinging, absolutely. But I find it hard for Luke Kornet to replicate that. I find it hard to think that Porzingis is going to give us anything in the series because he hasn't. I find it hard to think that even though Derek White is the best shooter on the floor, probably left in the playoffs, I think it's going to be really, really hard for him to replicate his. If we keep going, it's going to be hard for Derek White to replicate this. What did he shoot? 9 for 16 from the floor, 7 for 13 from the 3-point line, 34 points. Like I'm not really expecting too much of that. Peyton Pritchard, I do expect to play well. 17 points is a lot though. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Jaylen Brown also had a good game, 26, 12, and 8. I would be betting on some regression for the Boston Celtics for sure. I think the Knicks are the right side, man. It hurts me to say it because I would love for Tatum to be a part of the series, but that's my thought process. OG Anunoby's probably not going to shoot 1 for 12 again, finishing with just 6 points. Also think that, Mitchell Robinson will have a little bit better more of an impact, even though he did finish with, 6 offensive boards and 13 rebounds altogether. Don't think he's going to be able to knock down 6 free throws, which killed my first quarterback. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I think even Mikal Bridges shooting 4 for 14, he's due for, some progression as well. So yeah, that's my thought process on the game. I think, Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns being in foul trouble definitely hurt their actual minutes. As far as player props in the game, let's go over the Outlier really quickly. See, this is what I'm looking at here. I think Drew Holiday, looking at his points, rebounds, and assists, I think you just played Drew Holiday up and over. You saw the impact that he had if you got a chance to watch the game in the last one. He finished with 24 points, rebounds, and assists, and this is just his last 10 games in general. You can see against the Knicks, he hasn't done much, only over in 2 of the 5 games. But if you come down here and you filter in games played without Jason Tatum this season, Drew Holiday numbers get a lot better. Look at that. Now he's over in last 5 games in a row and 8 of the last 10 games. So I think somebody like Drew Holiday steps up a lot. You can see that he averages 23.4 points, rebounds, and assists. I think he'll play, north of probably 40 minutes in this game. And I do think that he's going to be able to go down there, grab a couple rebounds, also be able to facilitate. And he's definitely, if you look at his field goal attempts, if we go back and just real quick, let's take this off. So Tatum in. If you look at his field goal attempts in the last game, here you can see that the 8 field goal attempts that he took in Game 5 was the most field goal attempts he's taken in this series so far, outside of game number 1, which he also went over in. So yeah, I think he's going to shoot the ball a little bit more. I expect him to be efficient shot. Those are my thought processes here. All right, let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Go back to the regular screen. All right. Let's go back here. All right. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Glad you made some money, Tariq. I was thinking opposite. If OKC plays some little bit of defense, the under probably happens. But yeah, they gave up about 30 points every quarter, which is pretty interesting for OKC. Best defensive team in the league, not being able to stop Denver because of Julian Strawther. Good morning, I love us. What up, G Hurt? Appreciate you for tapping in. Absolute no-show last night. Jalen Williams he might as well stayed in OKC last night, man. What up, JFX? Dom says OKC first half, cash for me. OKC just can't finish games. You know what's crazy, Dom, is they actually had finished games. That's the crazy thing. You can't say that they just can't finish games because they finished game 5 and game 4. Fourth quarter, they won both of them. It's so interesting. Oklahoma City is just so up and down, and it makes it really hard to bet on them specifically. Good morning, Prestigious Prodigy. What up, G421? Taking White threes, Jalen Brown rebounds, Jalen Brown points and Hart rebounds. I love it. Says Frank says took Boston team total over 104. Good morning, Nayeli. She says, man, my whole time sports betting 2.5 years, I've never hit this many money line underdogs ever in a row. I love this year's playoffs. Well, if you're super contrarian, it makes a lot of sense. Let's see. GFX says I might be crazy, but I think the series goes to Game 7 as well. Think about it. You really think the NBA see? This is the type of stuff that don't really matter to me. Like I'm not a big conspiracy theorist type person. And if a lot of people came on the show. It was some. I read some comments yesterday. People, always thinking the NBA gonna do this. Well, if the team come out and punch the other team in the mouth, the NBA don't get a chance to do anything. The Denver and OKC didn't go to Game 7, in my humble opinion. Didn't go to Game 7 because, the NBA decided they wanted to go to Game 7. They went to Game 7 because Jalen Williams didn't show up and Julian Strawther did. Like that's how I think about it. That's my opinion, though. Nally says Celtics money line is the play for me. Game 7, Knicks win. I can't see it. Daryl says New York can't be trusted. They struggle with the Pistons, and then they also beat the Celtics 3 games out of 4 in the first 4 games. So. Yeah, makes sense. Dom says Celtics team total over for him. Fade Porzingis. Let's see. Tariq says I like the over, not touching it. I think the Boston cover the first quarter. Live bet the Knicks for plus money. Knicks is suspect at the crib. They won the last game versus the Celtics at the crib, though. And remember, Tatum, if he gets hurt, they probably still end up winning that game, even with Tatum getting hurt. It's about 3 minutes left. Knicks won a crazy run. But, yeah. Dom says he likes holiday boards. Amy says Knicks can't punch the Celtics early. They start slow every single game. And I bet on the Knicks. I bet on the Boston Celtics in the last game. You probably didn't. That's why you think that they can't. I bet Boston first quarter and first half and lost both of them, Damien. But yeah, I understand. Maybe you weren't watching that one. It's a fact, Boogie. Says NBA politics went out the window once Luke and LeBron got bounced. Hey, I'm just saying, man. I know it's going to be people that want to be super contrarian. I get it. You need to stack all the data points that you can. You need to come up with all the theories that you can. Bet whatever it is that you like. I'm not betting because I think the NBA wants to see a Game 7. That's not going to push the needle for me. That's not going to push the needle for me, man. Yeah, definitely check out this. I forgot to mention the WNBA preview is available for people who want to check out that show. And I'm actually about to head over to that stream right now. So yeah, we're about to go live and talk about the 3 games in the W in just a second. As soon as we finish this stream, I wanted to do separate streams for today. But yeah, I feel like Celtics first. I feel like the Boston Celtics are done tonight. I would be betting the Knicks on the money line minus 150. I mean minus 140. I think is available on Bet 365. Got it. Also with Bet 365, if the team goes up by 20 points, you automatically get the win. So if the Knicks do go up by 20, you don't even have to worry about the rest of the game. So if I'm betting it, that's the way I'm playing. But best of luck on whatever it is you guys are betting. Drew Holiday, I think points, rebounds, and assists is probably the best player prop look for me. Jalen Brunson points, I looked at that. It's like 30.5. And I thought that number was a tad bit too high. If anything, I think Karl-Anthony Towns bounced back. He had 19 points. His line is sitting at 20.5, I think. And that was with him getting in foul trouble. He's the key to the series, in my opinion. If Karl-Anthony Towns is on the floor, the Celtics are going to struggle. He's going to bring Luke Kornet away from the rim and be able to knock down his perimeter shots. I'm also not expecting a lot from Porzingis, like I said. So I think the Celtics could struggle to guard, Karl-Anthony Towns tonight if he's not a bozo and, goes out there and, is fouling and doing all that flailing that he does all the time. They need you. The Knicks need you tonight, Big Purr. But yeah, this my thought process of how I'll be betting the game, man. And I have been cold. There's been 3 straight losers for me with Celtics first quarter, first half, and then OKC last night. So maybe you fade me. Overall in the playoffs, we've been doing pretty good though. Check the resources out if you guys are interested. JAXon, Outlier, Moneyballer, OddsJam, all of those resources are linked in the description of the video. There's also a vault link for you guys to check out. If you want to sign up for sports books and you're looking for promos, all of those will be linked in that video link in the description as well. So check those out. Yeah, and that'll be it, man. Drop the show in the group chat. Hit the like button, run them lights up if you can. I'm gonna end this stream and I'm gonna go straight over to the W stream so we can talk about the 3 games for tonight, man. Best of luck on whatever it is you guys are betting. If you're coming over to the W stream, I'll see you in just a second. If not, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend. I'm out.